Hello everybody, welcome to Top 10s, a segment on the Captain Vitus show where I make a top 10, as the name suggests. I'm Ashton Raymer, and I'll be your host. So the Oscars have come and gone, and with that, I have seen all the nominated films, which in my opinion, means I am now qualified to make my top 10 films of 2013. And once again, I know what you're thinking. Ashton, why didn't you make that sooner? Because I hadn't seen everything. And I feel like there were a lot of movies I needed to see before that. Now, I was unfortunate in the fact that I only got to review a few of these films. So, at the end of every explanation I have, I'm going to give a rating that I would have given said film if I had reviewed it. So, you can be like, yeah, he did that. Now, 2013 was a fantastic year for movies. Maybe not in the beginning. It took us a little bit of time to get to where we were, but when we did get to the good, the best of the best, wow, were they good. Some of the best movies I've seen in years. And sadly, a lot of them did not make the cut for my list. So I'd like to just name off some honorable mentions. Man of Steel, it's flawed, but I really enjoyed it. It would have made this list if it was a top 11. Alas, it's not. Hobbit, Desolation of Smaug. Really good movie, just not better than these 10 I have planned for you. Rush, really good racing film. Chris Hemsworth did a great job, Ron Howard directing. It's a really good movie. It's worth your time, it's worth your money, but it's not worth putting on this list. About Time, this is one I really wanted to put on the list. It's one I just saw recently when I picked it up. It's probably one of the best romance movies I've seen in a long time. It was a delightful surprise. Sadly, not surprising enough to get on that list. Then my final honorable mention, This Is the End. Now this movie had me laughing the hardest I've laughed in a theater since The Hangover. But these ones, I liked them more. Now those are my honorable mentions, so let's get right into this list. And before I go in, remember, this is my opinion. So if you don't agree, and you feel like you need to voice that you don't agree, do me a favor and go smash your head into the concrete, because that's not how life works. And let's begin. Coming in at number 10, we have actually the only superhero movie that's going to be on this list, and that is The Wolverine. Now, it's no secret, I love Wolverine. He's my favorite Marvel superhero, and I wanted him to get a good movie after that disaster that was X-Men Origins. It's Wolverine in Japan fighting samurais with his claw hands. If you don't think that's awesome, that's because you're not awesome, and I'm sorry, but it's true. However, this movie is so low on the list at number 10 because the ending is really disappointing, because we have this perfect first half. Well, not perfect, but it's a very good first half, and we get this kind of ending, but it was better than Iron Man's 3's, so it makes the list. If I had reviewed Wolverine, I would have given it a B+ out of 10. Coming in at number 9, I have a movie that must have gone under the Academy's radar when they were making the picks for Best Animated Feature, and that is Monsters University. To this day, Monsters, Inc. is one of my favorite movies of all time, and while this one doesn't exactly measure up to the greatness the original was, I think it's a perfectly well done prequel, and it does what it needs to do. It brings us back to these incredible characters, and it does it in a great way, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't laugh a lot harder than all the kids in my theater, but I guess they just don't understand comedy. Monsters University gets an A- out of 10. At number 8, we have the one comedy to beat out This Is the End, and that is Anchorman 2. Now, the original Anchorman is one of my favorite movies of all time. That's no secret. I think it's the most quotable movie ever. And like Monsters University, this new one, while it can't really measure up to the greatness that was the original Anchorman, I think it definitely stands its ground, and it had me gasping for air with every new joke. The movie gives us more great quotes to throw around in our everyday life, and it was a great pleasure to revisit Ron Burgundy and the Channel 4 News team. Anchorman 2 gets a B out of 10. Now, if I hadn't seen this one, you probably would have seen Man of Steel at the top of this list. But I saw this on Saturday night, and it bumped it right off the top, and that is Nebraska. So as I just stated, I saw this movie on Saturday at the Oscar Showcase, and I can say with confidence it was definitely one of my favorite of the nominations. I'm a huge Alexander Payne fan. I own a lot of his movies. And once again, he knocks it right out of the park because this movie is fantastic. And I think it stands to mention, and I stated this in my Oscar video, the best part about this movie is how incredibly real it feels. It doesn't feel like Hollywood at all. Every character, every plot point, everything feels real. You know, it felt like he literally just went to a town of all these people and went, want to be in a movie? And they were like, we don't know, we're not actors. And he was like, that's fine because you're just real people. Like, that's what they felt like. They felt like people you'd live next to, and that is why Nebraska is so high on the list. Nebraska gets an A- out of 10. Do you know what I love? Mechs. Well, I got that growing logon up there. And you know what I also love? Giant monsters. And we got the two of those together punching each other in the face in last year's Pacific Rim, which was my favorite action movie of the year. Pacific Rim was fantastic, don't lie to yourself. Oh, it wasn't, it was stupid. Yeah, it was stupid. But you'd be stupid to say you didn't have fun watching them punch giant monsters in the face. That is so America. Get off your fancy little high horse and have some fun for once, because this is what that movie does. I mean, this is Godzilla, cross Gundam, cross Top Gun. Those are three incredible things. You put them together and you gave me one of the most enjoyable theater experiences of the year. Also, and I'm going to get some flack for this, I think this was probably one of the best looking movies of the year, if not the best. And I liked the 3D more than I liked anything else this year. You come fight me, Gravity fans. Come fight me. At least this movie had a story. Given it was stupid and dumb, but it was present. Pacific Rim gets an A- out of 10. So for those of you who know me personally, for those of you who have just been around me for the past month, this next one is going to surprise you because at number 5 I have The Wolf of Wall Street. Now for those of you who don't know me and you're wondering why that's a surprise, it's because The Wolf of Wall Street was at number 1 for a long while. And now it's been bumped back to number 5. What happened? And well, it's the fact this movie is a 3-hour thrill ride of excess, boobs, cocaine, and the record for most F-bombs dropped in one movie. And I saw that 3 times. And believe it or not, it kind of loses its charm after more than one viewing. That being said, it's still a fantastic movie. It's directed by Martin Scorsese, who's my favorite director of all time. Kind of, he dukes it out with Steven Spielberg every day in my mind, but he's up there, trust me. Not to mention, it's Leonardo DiCaprio, and a lot of people don't talk about this fact, but Jonah Hill, both giving the best performances of their career, and it's fantastic. It's a great movie, just not as good as these other 4. In my opinion, none of this is fact. If you think this is fact, then you're the one who's wrong. Wolf of Wall Street gets an A out of 10. So number 4, as I stated in the last one, Wolf of Wall Street was my number 1 movie of the year at a time, and it was my number 1 pick for Best Picture until Saturday night, when for the second time I saw a little movie called Her. Definitely my favorite screenplay of the year. Her is fantastic. It's a beautiful love story told to us by Spike Jonze of a man in his computer. This movie can be everything at once. It can be incredibly funny. At times it's heartbreakingly romantic. But overall, it's just thought-provoking. It will have you thinking. I know it had everyone else thinking in my theater, but all of them liked American Hustle, so they don't get to have an opinion, and I'd say Her is definitely worth an A out of 10. The final 3, now we're really getting into it. So for those of you who know me personally, while movies are my passion, my true passion project, my true love has always been music, and I've played guitar for many years now, and I recently picked up a new one. Her name is Holo. But now I had been on a bit of a hiatus from it for a while. I hadn't played in months. My calluses went away, so whenever I'd pick up a guitar it would hurt. But then I got back into it again because I saw a little movie called Inside Llewyn Davis. It's another film that I think went completely under the Academy's radar, especially when picking Best Song. Really, U2 gets a nomination for that song nobody cared about, but the music movie gets nothing? That's a bit ridiculous. Because the music in this movie is fantastic, it's beautiful, it's all this folk music, and I love folk music. Oscar Isaac sings it all, he gives what I thought was an Oscar-worthy performance. Once again, who do you push out? You can make an argument, but I don't think it's justified. I do think, though, say if one of those movies didn't happen, that those actors got nominated, I would have definitely loved to see Oscar Isaac up there because he does fantastic. His voice is haunting. This was one of the only soundtracks I bought all year. I think I bought like 2 of them, but yeah, the music's good. In fact, when these videos are uploading, I always take Holo out of her case and I play all the tunes from it because they are some great guitar tunes, and as a musician, this movie really spoke to me. It took 2 tries though. The first time I saw this movie, I didn't care for it too much, but the second time, I understood it more. It resonated with me more because I had picked up my guitar. I felt all of Llewellyn's pain, and this movie's just a great movie. The Coen brothers are fantastic directors, and they prove it once again with Inside Llewyn Davis. Inside Llewyn Davis gets an A out of 10. It's really getting down to it now. Final 2, baby. And this next one is the only one on this list that I actually had a full review for, and that is The Wind Rises. And before any of you attack me, I know this movie came out here last weekend, but it was the biggest grossing movie in Japan last year, so it counts for the list. And biggest grossing movie in Japan for a reason. It's fantastic, and that's why it's at number 2. Now, I'm not going to go into incredible detail with this movie because I do have my full review for it, and I wrote way too much for the next one. But all you need to know is this is Hayao Miyazaki's last hurrah. Perhaps. I did read he's retired now 6 times, but the guy's getting old. I think he'll stick to his word this time, and if he does, he went out with a bang. This movie's fantastic. It's definitely worth your time, and it gets an A+ out of 10. Here it is, folks. Number 1. What movie did I think deserved this over all those other fantastic movies, you ask? Well, the answer is my biggest surprise of the year. The movie I had no expectations for, and it ended up changing me, and that is Frozen. Now let me start this is going to be a review right here, guys, so strap in. And let me start it off by saying, I've been a Disney junkie since birth. I grew up with movies like Lady and the Tramp, Little Mermaid, Mary Poppins, all these incredible Disney movies. On repeat, The Lion King was my favorite movie ever when I was a kid. Nothing beat The Lion King. Toy Story came close, but nothing beat The Lion King. However, that was when I was a kid. And I'm a grown man now, and I think we all went through that stage in middle school where we all went, yeah, we don't need these kid things. You know, we were all dicks in middle school. Let's be honest here. And then after that, I never really got back into Disney. Like, don't get me wrong, I always loved the fact they were a company. I love that they own Star Wars now, because now I can go to Disneyland with a lightsaber, but, you know, I wasn't excited about Disney. Then, the night I bought Holo, and I was with my friend Will, and he's excited for this because I just texted him and said, hey, I'm going to tell people a story about you in the video today, you know? But yeah. Well, it was actually the night I bought Holo. I was with my friend Will. The both of us had both bought new guitars. And as we were driving home from the Guitar Center, Will turned to me and said, we should see a movie tonight. And I was like, you know, we should see Frozen. Because this movie was getting incredible reviews. It was all word of mouth. Like, neither of us knew anything about the movie, so we agreed and we went, yeah, we'll go see Frozen tonight. We were curious and we went in blind, folks. Neither of us had seen a single trailer, read a single synopsis. We had no idea what we were going for. The only thing I knew was from that teaser trailer, which I don't count because it sucked, of Olaf the Snowman. He was just doing things, and that was the only thing I knew about this movie, was Olaf was in it. That was it. So we sat down, the movie started, it opens with that, hi, 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 hey, hey, hey. We joke about it. Oh, what is this, The Lion King? And then we sat through it, and by the end, the two of us, and I'm not saying this to be funny, we were different people. And that, right there, is why Frozen is #1. And I'm being serious here, not just being a little jokester. Frozen changed my life. Frozen is a perfect mix of everything that makes a good Disney movie a good Disney movie. It has a beautiful story that will touch you in ways you didn't think possible, has memorable characters that will stick with us forever, a boatload of quotes that I'm going to be quoting for the next rest of my life, and the most important thing in my opinion for a great classical Disney movie to have: music that will live on in the hearts of the viewer until the day they die. First, let's talk about the story. It's incredible. It's outrageously funny at times. Like, Will and I were laughing a lot harder than the other 2 people in our theater. I forgot to mention, we were late to the party on this. This movie came out in like November. I didn't see it until January, and I wish I had, because I saw this movie 4 times in theaters. I could have made it 10. But the movie is incredible, it's funny, for lack of a better word, it's magical. And I adore how this movie deviates from your original Disney formula. You know, yeah, it has your romance in there, you got your poor guy meets rich girl, but that's not what it's about. And the romance is in there, you know, they handle it well because every movie's going to have romance, as well it should. But that's not what Frozen at its core is. Frozen is about the sisters, Anna and Elsa. It's about them trying to overcome the distance that had burdened them throughout their entire childhood. And it's an incredibly touching story that I am glad was told. Also, if you recall my statement from a minute ago, I said Will and I went into this blind. I didn't know it was a musical. No, it is, because Frozen is a throwback to all those classic Disney movies where people would break out into song and no one would question it. And that's fine, because the music is great. In fact, I'd say it's the best music, not only in a Disney movie, but it's the best music in any movie since Beauty and the Beast. And that is saying something, because Beauty and the Beast has like the greatest music ever. So that should tell you something. Literally, the day after Will and I saw this movie, we went straight to the Target, we bought that CD. And you're welcome, Will. Now the internet knows that you and me know every word to every song on that album. And we sing it on our car rides. Come fight us. We'll fight you. We will, right? Text me later. But you know, I'm not even kidding. The music is phenomenal, especially Let It Go, which, thank God it won the Oscar last night. I was afraid it was going to go to U2 for their god-awful song. But Let It Go, it's an incredible song, and I will have that thing on repeat on difficult days. Like, I'll be sitting there like, this day sucks. Put that on, and you get excited. And I even wrote a male version. I spent a night transposing it so I could sing it. I don't know, maybe I'll do that for you someday. I don't know. You know, it's the best Disney music in years, not to mention the best Disney characters in years. Iceman from X-Men ain't got nothing on Elsa. Oh, what, you froze a fountain so you and Ellen Page could skate on it? Oh, that's sweet, you know. Elsa froze everything on accident. And let's talk about Anna, because she's my favorite Disney princess of all time now, and there's a reason for that. She is adorable, she is awkward, she is lovable, and I know for a fact me and a lot of the other viewers fell in love with her immediately. She's so different from your normal classy Disney princess, you know. Cinderella, back off. Anna's got the top point. I own her action figure. I'm not even kidding, yo. See? I got him. They're over there by my TV. I would be doing this movie a complete injustice if I didn't take a minute to talk about Olaf. He's that talking snowman you see in all the trailers, and I'll be honest, and I think me and the rest of the mass movie-going audience saw him walk into frame and immediately thought, wow, this movie was great, he is going to come, he's going to be annoying, and he is going to ruin it. And then, in a shocking turn of events, he doesn't. He only makes a great movie fantastic. I'm still waiting for Disney to make him his own Disney Infinity figure. He'll go right up there, yo. And now, you gotta make the Lone Ranger set. Because everyone loved the Lone Ranger. In the end, Frozen is a phenomenal film that actually changed my life. It rekindled my love for Disney. It got me excited for whatever they're going to do next. It made me cry numerous times. I'm a grown man at the kids' movie, just bawling his eyes out. Also, now, if a movie is directed towards kids and it sucks, I'm going to call that a bad movie. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it was for kids. But no, because Frozen is proof you can make a movie aimed at kids and still appeal to everyone. So if your movie sucks no matter what the medium. And Frozen is the best example of how, no matter what, a good movie is a good movie, animated, live action, or not. And this is going to be a big statement, but this is my new favorite Disney film of all time. Even more so than The Lion King. This is a movie that I want to share with everyone in my life now, my family right now, my family in the future, my kids. When I have kids, this is going to be the movie where I say, yeah, Daddy went and saw this and he bawled his eyes out and you're going to learn all the songs or he's going to disown you. Yeah, sounds a bit extreme, but I am a bit extreme. So that, Frozen is perfect and it is absolutely deserving of an A+ out of 10. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching my top 10 favorite movies of the year. I really wanted to make this list, and I'm glad you stuck with me till the end, and hey, if you want to stick with me for even longer, you can click that subscribe button down there. You can go to my channel, watch some of my other videos if you want to keep updated with them. You can follow me on Twitter. I like it when you follow me on Twitter. A lot of people unfollowed me on Twitter like months ago, so it would be nice to gain those followers back. So you can do that, and as far as updates go, it's either going to be tomorrow or Wednesday, or I'm going to do my first pickups video, because some of my movies are in the hands of other people. I'm like Blockbuster now. Blockbuster's closed, so people come to my house. But yeah, so that should be on Tuesday, and then let's see. Oh wait, I already know. This weekend's going to be big for me. We're going to have 3 reviews, one for the new 300, one for Peabody and Sherman, and most importantly, the Grand Budapest Hotel, which if you saw my last top 10 list, you know I am very excited for. So get excited for that. That's going to be the week for me. Other than that, love you. Stay classy. That wasn't much of a turn, was it?